So I'm all loaded up. It's about 5:30. I was hoping when I got it this morning that this would be like glass, but the wind's already starting to pick up, so we'll see how it goes. Originally, well, I'm supposed to be going all the way around that point, but I don't really feel like paddling into this wind this whole time. It's a couple miles out, so I'm all loaded up to wheel. I'm gonna take the main road. There's a bike lane on the side that I can take. So I'll wheel down to the ferry dock, which is at that point, and then I can try to shoot across there anyway, and maybe that's a little less windy. I don't know, we'll see. But had a good stay here. Actually slept pretty good. It did sprinkle and rain a little bit last night, but not too bad. But I heard the waves this morning. I wasn't thrilled, so we'll see how it goes. Made it the 3.3 miles down the road to the ferry terminal. So now I just need to put in here and paddle across to the Hero Islands and try not to get run over by the 4 ferries that are running. So wish me luck. It's pretty calm over here. It's not, I think this is calm for Lake Champlain anyway, so shouldn't be too bad. If I angle it a little bit, I have kind of a push, so we'll get after it before it picks up. Well, I survived my crossing. Not too bad. Just kind of split the gap between the ferries that were running and made it through with no issues, really. There's a slight tailwind that's going to be pushing me down the Hero Islands, so that'll actually be kind of helpful today because I have to go pretty far to get to where I want to get to. So it'd be nice to be off Champlain today. We'll see how far we make it. We'll go from there. But beautiful day, no complaints. Headed for what's known as the gut between South and North Hero Islands over here. Just a way to cut across and be on the other side. I thought about staying on this side because there is a nice tailwind, but I think it'll be on both sides. But the reason I want to get to the other side is there's a general store and I can use like a cold Gatorade or something right now. I've kind of been paddling my butt off all morning and I'm quite parched. So it looks like we got a bit of a storm rolling in, so hopefully I can get off the water before that rolls in. So gotta keep paddling. Keep paddling. Man, I feel bad even stopping for a break. The lake is kind of spoiling me right now. I've got just a little bit of a tailwind that's been pushing me down the shoreline, and I gotta go that way after I leave the store, but there's a little store over here I'm gonna try to catch and take a little break. I am cooking, I will tell you that much. I am wearing probably the most amount of sunscreen I've ever worn in my life, and I still feel like it's not enough. But hey, it's not raining. We will take it. Kind of nuts how dead it is out here. Even all these like super nice homes and stuff that I've been paddling past, I haven't seen anybody. Nobody's around, nobody's outside, no one's doing anything. And then it's a super nice day on the lake. And I'm the only one out here. I don't get it. They're missing out. Got clouds in every direction, except for here. I'm nearly done with Champlain. I just got to go around this corner over here, and I'm gonna be staying at a campground right there for the night. And then I'll be in the Missisquoi River tomorrow, going upstream for a while. So happy to have this out of the way. This was definitely one of the things when you're planning the trip that stands out at you, and kind of wonder how the weather's going to treat you, and you could definitely have a bad time. But I lucked out, so it's only, I don't know, a little after 1 o'clock, so I made pretty good time coming up the lake, and happy to be done with it. On to the rivers. So the video I took earlier, I think I said that the campground I would be staying at was just around the corner. It was over 2 hours ago, So to anybody watching this who is planning a paddle in the future, don't underestimate the size of the top end of the lake. It takes a hot minute to get through it. Good morning. All loaded up at the campground. Had a good stay here actually. I was able to take a hot shower, and they have some cold drinks and a good selection at their store to choose from. So I was able to get some snacks. Definitely slept the best that I've slept since I started the trip, which is good. Much needed after the long day yesterday. So I got to wheel down this hill down to the shore and short paddle across this little bay, and then dive into the Missisquoi River and be paddling upstream for the rest of the day. So I got to stop in town when I go through and pick up a couple odds and ends for grocery items while there's a Hannaford available. So I'm stopping to do that and fill up my water bladder, because you can't really drink out of the Missisquoi. So that's where I'll be headed. We'll see how it goes. Made it into the river. This is kind of nice and flat in here. It's technically upstream, but I don't think I'm really going to deal with the effects of upstream travel until I get closer to the dams or past the dams where there's a lot of rapids. But the lake was moving. It was blowing pretty good again this morning, so kind of nice to be in some flat water for a little while. So I think it's like 5 or 6 miles up this way until I hit a dam I have to go around, and that's the town I'm gonna stop in and just grab a couple things and fill up my water bladder, so I'm not trying to filter this yucky stuff. So we'll keep on paddling. Well, I am not really enjoying this. Not only am I going upstream technically, I'm also fighting the headwind that was pushing me down Champlain yesterday. I'm now going into. So I found this little calm spot to kind of rest up a little bit, but man, my arms are so tired from yesterday that trying to fight this, I'm like barely even going walking pace. So I think it's gonna make for a long day unless the wind changes, because I think that's most of my issue is when you're out in the middle, you're just right in the wind. So trying to hug the shore, trying to stay out of it as best I can, but I feel like I'm not going anywhere. So I just left the town of Swanton after portaging around the dam there. I actually wheeled my boat into town up to the post office and asked them if I could just kind of tuck it behind their building, because there's a Hannaford in town that was like a mile down the road, and I just didn't want to wheel everything a mile down the road. So I stopped in and talked to them, and they were more than happy to let me tuck it in behind their building where it was kind of safe and secure, and let me charge my battery bank there while I went grocery shopping. And so I hoofed it down and just resupplied on. I like keeping like a week's worth of food on me, so any chance I get when I'm running low, I like to stop and just kind of top everything off, and that way I don't have to stop at every town I go through. And so got all that. There's a Dunkin' right there, so I got an iced coffee on this nice hot day, so I enjoyed that for a little bit on my walk back, and now I'm back on the river. So I think I have another 6 miles till I hit the next dam, and then there's some rapids to go through after that I have to navigate up before I get to my campsite for the night. But there are thunderstorms coming in this afternoon, so hopefully I beat them. Well, I made it to the Highgate Falls carry. It's a long way up, and I have heavy stuff. And it's like 90 degrees out, so this is taking me a minute, I'm not gonna lie. I'd really like to push on and get to the next camping spot. There's a place to stay up here, but I'd like to get to that other spot because I can reach the rail trail first thing in the morning from that campsite, and then I can just focus on just wheeling all day. I don't have to even bother putting in the morning. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do. It's really hot, but I also don't want to stop myself short, or it's only 1:30, so I'll probably keep going. I'm just gonna have to slow down a bit. There are some thunderstorms coming, and honestly, that sounds nice. So I gotta keep lugging all my stuff up this hill. That might have been one of the worst portages yet, I'm not gonna lie. All the way up those stairs, I put the wheels on, thinking like, oh, maybe it'll be a flat carry up to the road. Nope, all the way up a hill. That's all muck and slippery, and mosquitoes were atrocious. That was terrible. I mean, you can see I don't know if you can see how high, probably can't see how high we are from here, but that was a climb. That was not fun. Might not be so bad if it wasn't so damn hot, but that was rough. I have reached rapids number 1 of 3 standing between me and my campsite. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about this. I think I might just kind of come over here and hook my line to the bow of the boat and just kind of walk through some of the shallower stuff on the edge. And then once I can put back in, I'll hop back in and keep paddling until I get to the next one. We'll see how it goes. This would be a lot more fun if I wasn't trying to beat some thunderstorms. But I am enjoying it. It's nice to actually get in the water and kind of problem solve a little bit and have to pick some lines instead of just paddling. A little bit of hard work, but I still have that second set right there to get through, so I'm just going to walk the shore and kind of just keep pulling it along, and no point in getting back in for 50 yards. So see how that goes. We'll try to keep moving before we get rained on. Oh, good morning. So yesterday afternoon was a rough one. Ended up coming into those rapids and didn't really know. I knew there was a couple ahead based on the map and everything, but man, there's so much water coming down the river from all the rain we've been having that the whole river is just rapids, and there's no easy way to get through anything. And it must have taken me an hour to get through one set of rapids, and I knew I had those thunderstorms coming, and so I made the decision to pull out of the river so I wasn't on the water, and yanked everything up a hill when I got to a bridge, and it was like, oh, if I go up this road I can hit a rail trail and then take that into town. That was the most uphill road I think I've ever seen in my life, and I was smoked. I was so tired. So I actually came down this road over here from up that way and just found this spot right here next to the church and just kind of tucked myself in for the night over here and laid down, didn't even make dinner, just went to bed. So yeah, it was a rough one. So today I'm not even gonna touch the river. I'm gonna go get a drink at the store, and I'm gonna hop on the rail trail, and I'm going to try to wheel all the way to Richford. It's supposed to be cooler today, so, and my cart just wheels so well that there's no point in not taking advantage of it. There's a bunch of rapids that I was gonna have to go through otherwise, and after yesterday I'm just not doing it. So I'm all loaded up. I'm just gonna go wheel down to the store and start walking. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can probably hear it. The reason why I'm up here and not down there. There's a lot of moving water right there. And I'm only just getting going this morning, so it's pretty much gonna be more or less of that the whole way up to Canada, essentially. So I have a hunch I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking in the next couple days. But you know what? It's part of the experience. Beats trying to go up that. Every single time I've been able to see the river, it looks like that. So definitely reinforcing my decision to be up here. I was kind of concerned that I would look down and it would be glassy and I'd want to go down, but I'm not dealing with that, that's for sure. Happy with my decision. So something I think is funny that maybe not all of you will think is funny or understand. There's a guy that's running the trail behind me, and I had passed him earlier and he's since turned around. And every time because I have music going, so I can't really hear when he's gonna be getting up close to me and I'm walking right in the middle of the trail. So I keep turning around to see where he is. And every time I turn around, it looks like he's in the same spot. So all I can think of is the scene from Monty Python. So I feel like all of a sudden I'm gonna turn around and he's gonna be right behind me. But he's been in the same spot forever. So I don't know, just something I thought was kind of funny. Well, it finally stopped raining. Blue skies for a little bit. Looks like there's some more nasty stuff behind it. I'm about into Richford. I was gonna stay in town, but I guess some of those sites are pretty sketch. So there's a site farther up towards the Canadian border that a family lets through paddlers stay on their property. So I contacted her to see if that was all right, and she informed me that their Airbnb downstairs is available. So I think I'm gonna do that instead. We're supposed to get more rain all night. I don't really feel like sleeping out there, so if it presents itself, I'm gonna take it. So have a nice bed and hot shower and reset for pushing tomorrow into Canada. Finally on pavement for a couple miles, which is good. That rail trail after all that rain just turned to slop, and as heavy as my cart is with all my gear in it, the wheels are just sinking into the mud, and it was just kind of making it go a little slower, but one finger pulling this thing along on pavement, so we'll take that. No shoulder really here to walk on, so I figured I'd put my vest on because Vermont drivers don't seem to like to move over, so I'm trying to be better safe than sorry. So I only got a couple miles walking on this road, and then I will be at the Coons residence for the evening. So I don't know if I'll check in there or if I'll just check in the morning, but we'll see you there. Good morning. Well, it poured all day yesterday, and it poured all last night, and I just got all my stuff loaded up from the Coon residence here to get going up to the border. I'd planned on walking to the border and then potentially putting in there where the river widens out. I was down here yesterday and you could see a bunch of rocks. Check this out. This is how much rain we've gotten. I don't think I'll be paddling up that today. Oh man, that sucks. Which means another long day of walking. What are you gonna do? It's probably the latest start I've gotten. It's already after 7:30, but the border's like not even a mile and a half up the road, and they don't technically open until 8. So I slept in a little bit, showered, and now we're ready to go. So we'll see what the river looks like up at the border, but I have a hunch I'm just gonna be walking more today, so let's get after it. It's a very peaceful and quiet part of Canada, apparently. I've been walking for quite a bit, and I have not seen a single car once. Even the lady at the border crossing said, she's like, we might see 1-2 cars tops a day. It's like, what? Like, it seems crazy to me. Sit there all day to see one car, but whatever. So I've gotten a couple glimpses of the river, and it does look, the guidebook says that after Canada, it widens out and it kind of becomes a little bit more manageable. And there's still a lot of water, but I've seen a couple glances at it and it does look a little more tame. So I'm portaging down to Canoe and Company right on the river. It's like, I think I got another like 4 miles to go. And they have a campsite there that they let through paddlers use. But I'll kind of evaluate the river there, and if I can put in there and paddle for a while, I would love to do that. Get off my feet. So that's where I'm headed to now. We'll see how it goes when we get there. It's very hilly through here, so a little challenging walking, but we're making do. Well, I already got to change plans. The Canoe and Company is on the other side of the river, and I had to cross a bridge to get across the other side, and I looked at the river and it just does not look pleasant. So rather than go to that side of the river where the road that I would need to take to get to the campground I planned on staying at tonight would have to like wind all through these back mountains and everything, I just came back up this way, and I'm just gonna stick to this main road. It's like 4 miles shorter because there's like no switchbacks. It might be more of like a gradual hill, I guess, whereas the other side has the switchbacks, but I'll take more hills than 4 miles additional. So I'm just sticking to this road. I think it's like, that campground's only like 5.8 miles up this way. So I should get there pretty quick. And then maybe I'll just take a short day today and hang out there for the night and then head up north of Masonville to the Grand Portage tomorrow. Well, for what seems typical for this trip, I reached where I plan on getting to at like 11 o'clock. So I'm just pushing on past it. There's no point in stopping now. My legs are still working. So it's 3 miles down to Masonville, which is a bigger town. They've got a whole bunch of stores and restaurants and everything. And the only thing is there's really no lodging. I think there's a couple Airbnbs and maybe a bed and breakfast. So I might try to grab one of those. If not, I'll find a place to stealth camp like I did at the church the other night. So someplace out of the way, I'm sure I can find something. And then it's just a short portage in the morning to the Grand Portage, which is supposed to be this big hoorah for the trip. But by the time I get there, I'll have done 40 miles walking. So the 6 of the Grand Portage doesn't seem so bad. And then I'll be on a lake and I can finally paddle again. Well, I made it to the actual takeout of where you're supposed to be exiting the river to make your way into Masonville. Just walked all the way here, and again, safe to say that was a wise decision. Yeah. Be no fun trying to paddle up that. It's moving pretty good. Doesn't look like much, but when you go to stop to take a breather and you go 50 yards backwards, it's not ideal. So I'm gonna keep walking, keep trudging into town and try to find a place to set up shop for the night.